When we launched IMBUZI, the biggest problem that we faced was learning about fabrics and prints. Now in this video, I will make sure that you understand everything there is to know about all the different types of t-shirt fabrics as well as prints. Also, if you're looking for a manufacturer, you can go over to manufacturers list down in the description box as well as in the pinned comments, and it will take you to IMBUZI's manufacturing list. So let's start with fabric. The most common type of fabric in t-shirts that you will see is 100% pure cotton. So even in cotton, there are a lot of different types of cotton, and even in that there is mixing wherein you get cotton blends, you mix polyester within it, and you get lycra, and there are a lot of different types in that as well. Depending on how the cotton is knitted, there is French terry and there is jersey cotton. French terry basically looks and feels different than jersey cotton. The reason for that is because French terry is loop knit. Apart from that, when you're buying your t-shirts from a manufacturer, they would also tell you if it is bio-washed or not. Bio-wash basically means that it has been washed previously in order to have that color retention and also make sure that the fabric also retains for a long time. Apart from this, you would also find all of these fabrics have a GSM with it. The way they come up with this number is by cutting out a 10 centimeter round patch and then weighing it on a scale. Now depending on how much it weighs, you get a GSM number, which is how many grams does that fabric weigh per square meter. Now there's a huge misconception where people tell you that higher the GSM, higher the quality, which is not true at all. Of course, a higher GSM fabric means that it is thicker, but it does not mean that it is higher quality. So 240 GSM is considered to be a thick fabric, but even though IMBUZI's t-shirts are quite thick, because of the way it has been loop knitted, you do not get a lot of sweat and it is much breezy and has a premium texture to it. Next comes prints. So in prints, there are a lot of different types of prints and I'll go through each one of them. The first one that we'll go through is DTF or DTG. Now DTF and DTG are the most basic type of prints that you can get, and you can even get it done at your local printing shop. DTF means direct to film, wherein they print it on a film first and then they heat press it onto your t-shirt. Whereas in DTG, it is direct to garment. So what it means is they directly print your designs onto the t-shirts without having to print it on a film first. DTG is a much faster and a quicker process as compared to DTF. Although both of these types of prints are mainly used in print-on-demand models. Print-on-demand basically means that you print your t-shirts only when you receive an order for it. The cost for DTF and DTG generally varies a lot, but it is somewhere around 0.5 rupees per square inch to it goes up to 5 rupees per square inch. Next up, we have screen printing. Screen printing is mainly used for larger quantity size. Even in screen printing, depending on the ink used, there are a lot of different types of prints. In that, you have the water-based ink, which is the general type of screen printing that you would see. Apart from that, you also can get a puff printing within screen printing itself. So you might have seen those premium quality t-shirts having those puff outlines. Those are made using screens. Generally, if a screen print is used, the number of colors determine the number of screens that are used. Now this is a vague estimation. Next up, we have reflective prints. These are also screen prints. Now these prints are different from the normal prints because these glow when you shine light on them. So you might have mainly seen them in clubs and concerts. Next up, we have high density print. So high density print, as the name suggests, is a very dense print where it is almost like a puff print, but it is much denser than that. So within high density print, it is much smoother and it is much denser. In order to get high density print, you basically have to add in the screen multiple times and form multiple layers on top of one another. This, as compared to the puff prints I talked about before, they do not need to be printed over and over again. They use a special ink which puffs and grows in size when you heat it. Now next up, we have embroidery. Now embroidery generally has a much higher cost for printing and it is determined on the per square inch of the design that you have. This is not actually a printing style, but yes, I wanted to include it over here as well. Now after this, there is all over print, which is like dye sublimation, and then we also have vinyl printing. So there are a lot of other prints as well, but these were the main ones. Now if you're starting your own clothing brand and if you learned anything from this video, then do mention the name of your clothing brand down in the comment section below. I'd love to check it out.